Greetings. So in this last jam, we were talking a lot about time and our relationship to time and whether you feel like time is running, is it running out? Do you wish it would speed up? Does it feel too slow? Maybe you're looking for some spare time, maybe you're having a good time. We all have a relationship to time. And then, as we move through the month, we start to talk about the past. And this guy, his name is Drew Back. And, how much of the past do you put in the present moment? Like, how much of your time is spent sort of like wallowing in the things that happened in the past, the wishing, the wanting, some regrets, maybe stuck in a dwell. We all have a relationship to time, and we also have a relationship to the past and how much of it we drag forwards with us, And then the next guy that came along was this one, Tom Orrow. Tom Orrow, the shiny future, the man of possibilities. And so the Tom Orrow actually represents the quantum field of pure potential. But often our relationship to the future is about anxious, racing and competing and protecting, and oh my God, am I going to get there? Am I going to make it? And what if we run out of time? Here's the main character here this time around was time. He's running, he's going. And so we got the past, Drew Back, who's sort of like, hijacking the present moment with the past. And we got the future of Tom Orrow that's sort of promoting a better moment. Steamroll past this one to get to greater days. Meanwhile, right here in the present moment is all of the sweetness, but we sort of have to be present, right? Anyway, as our jam rolled forwards, there was another character that popped in last minute, and his name is the Nick of Time. And the Nick of Time is actually one of my favoriteest sort of characters in the world of NOWism, because the Nick of Time sort of nicks moments from the time rich and gives it to people who wish they could just have one more moment. The Nick of Time represents magic. He represents like surprise and delight, that feeling of, oh my God, like it worked out. And as I was sort of collaborating with the Now Ninjas in the Zoom room, the individuals who attend the jam, we started to play with the idea of, what it feels like to actually feel lucky. What does it actually feel like for things to work out? And it came in as a question from one of the beautiful individuals there that like she was feeling that sometimes when things start to work out and there's an upward swing, that there's sometimes a feeling of like of sabotage. It's like, don't get too happy because this shit runs out basically. And it led me to sort of dive really deep on the idea of actually practicing expanding the nervous system to normalize the feeling of things working out. And this is one of the gifts of the Nick of Time. When we feel this spontaneous clicking into place, like the alignment of things working out for us, and it feels like surprise and delight. Like when we feel like oh my God, like I did it, like it worked out, like things are on an upward swing. Like when we get to taste that feeling, something happens in the nervous system. Now, often what happens is we wait for like circumstances, time and space to deliver to us a circumstance that makes us feel that makes us feel lucky, that makes us feel surprise and delight. But what would happen if you actually took some time every single day to stretch the nervous system to actually sort of taste test the possibility, a timeline where things actually worked out for you? Like, what if you could actually practice vibrationally, energetically, and in the physicality through your body and your thoughts, the idea of normalizing the miracle? That these moments of alignment, the things that work out, like those synchronistic events that feel so delicious, and not just like rare moments that are like so rare, but rather that they are common occurrences that are still deeply appreciated, but there is a normalization of this feeling of harmony. This is one of the practices in our game of NOWism, which we're workshopping all of this in our Sunday jams every weekend. And it's such a beautiful thing to know that you can actually practice the feeling of having it all. You know, when you think about the amount of thoughts that you have and the dialogue and the commentary and where you actually hang out in the concept of, you know, things, you know, that are happening to you, whether it's you know, your projects or your relationships or your money or your purpose or your passion, like, you know, when you think about the tone of the conversation and the amount of like maybe worrying or doubting or delaying that you are actually in a narration about, then it sort of makes sense, right, to give the nick of time, the energy of surprise and delight, a little bit more airtime. Like, what if you practiced the feeling of having it all and you did it a little bit every day for a few weeks? You know, these are the sort of assignments that we lay out in the NOWism Jam. And it's so fun because the individuals who join us are all so like interested in growing themselves. They're all voting for each other's victory. And once one person starts the assignment, once one person gets into a groove and is like, you know, screw it, I'm going to actually like, I'm just going to put my now on my sleeve and actually lay this homework out. And there's so much encouragement and there's so much momentum. So I want to invite you, if you're interested in just playing in a really like sort of fun, easy way with these metaphysical practices, spiritual practices, somatic practices, like getting fit for your ultimate manifestations. If you're interested in playing in our community and learning these mindful life hacks, then hit me up. We're about to start the next round of the jam and you're invited. Big loves.